best way to start is, who are you? What do you do?
I'm Dr. Caitlin Syme. I'm a paleontologist and I actually specialise in a field of forensic science, but for fossils, and that's called taphonomy. The study of how animals die and decay and then eventually fossilise. I like to think of them as data recorders, recording information around it about water currents and weather systems, any scratches or scrapes or fractures in those bones that can tell me something about the environment in which that animal lived. The holotype of Isisfordia duncani told me that this was a nearly fully grown creature, but it was only about a metre long, that it was living in an estuary near a giant inland sea about 100 million years ago. Isisfordia duncani is a little itty bitty crocodile and it was the focus of my PhD. It's also one of the first modern types of crocodiles. They like to sit in rivers or lakes with their mouths open, waiting for something to swim by and they can grab onto it. They have to be able to hold their breath and not be swallowing or breathing in large amounts of water at the same time. So Isisfordia duncani is the first type of crocodile that we see in the fossil record that has what is called a secondary palate, which means that they could have their nostrils at the water surface and breathe oxygen, and that air will go through the lungs without needing to go into the mouth cavity. So they could have their mouth open and have water washing through their mouth and not worry about breathing in any water. So I know it's weird to be like, I like this particular fossil because its legs are strange, but just its little toes are very cute. These tiny, fragile bones that are still preserved 101 million years later. I sometimes wish I could talk to it and ask, what happened? What happened to you? Tell me what happened to you. I'll write all about it. I'll let your story be heard. The fossil that you have today is an object in its own right. And that modern object, it's its own tangible evidence, not just of life in the past, but of preservation right now. It's another type of creative human endeavour. We're humans and we are curious. We want to learn more about the world, and I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to figure out what's happening in their little corner of the world and sharing that information with other people, because you never know where that might lead. Humans have not been around for that long, and we're already having a pretty big impact on climate, for example, on this planet. It's really useful to look back in deep time and realise exactly how insignificant we are in a way, that there has been so much more before us and there could potentially be so much more after us. It all comes down to humility.